falling out. So I don't know what this show is going to be like, but I scheduled it, and we're going to be here. So let's bring on our guests. All right, we'll introduce first. Excuse me, Mr. Remy Q from Remy Q Studios.
What's going on? Hey, thanks for having me on, bud.
Hey, no, thank you for coming. And I'm going to try to make this as painless as possible because I know you guys had a falling out, and if there's anything that I can do to kind of ease the situation, let me know. And I know there's a bunch of great guys in the chat who kind of make things easier too. All right.
I'll try to be professional about it. I apologize.
All right. Yeah. All right. So we'll bring out our next guest. Everybody knows him. He's a fantastic guy. Let's hope for the best. Everybody, DJ Linx.
Yo.
DJ, what's up? How's it going?
What's going on, Nick? And only Nick. How you doing?
Nick, if you could please acknowledge the other guests that I said hello.
Guys, I'm a small channel. I kind of need things to go well. So if you guys can patch things up, and I know you guys were, bros, Remy, same masks, all. Can you guys just try to patch it up and just let's have a good show? What do you say?
I'm kind of at a loss because you keep saying you guys, but I only see you, my man. What's going on, Nick?
Oh boy, Remy, I'm sure he sees you, Remy, and we'll try to be. Oh man, we lost him. All right, all right, he's back. Okay, all right, again.
All right,
Okay,
I'm going to be the bigger person here, and I'm going to extend an olive branch to Mr. Q of Remy Q Studios. I apologize, sir.
All right, and if there's anything that I can do to ease your guys back into the relationship, just you guys were fantastic together. Let's have that unity again. Let's grow together. Let's sync up.
I will say that I do appreciate your apology, and if I can express my truth,
Yes, sir.
it's that I was a little hurt. That's all.
I'm sorry. Look, this is a fist bump of love from right below.
All right.
Remy!
I feel much better now. All right, so let's give the guys in the chat a little hello. What's up? Let's say hi to Mr. Gary B, the casual comic guy. I call him the patron saint of the comic book community. We got Mr. Chubby Pop Chaser, who shares very interesting pictures late at night.
Whoa! Heyo!
Mr. Rod the Rican, a.k.a. The Rock. What's going on, Rod? Hopefully he'll let me into that lame of frame, even though he'll probably regret it after he sees my first drawing.
You have two lame or frame champions on this panel right now.
Yeah, and that past week's show was fantastic. Him and the bearded bro put on a fantastic show.
Yep.
This guy brightens my Friday, Mr. Freak Key Louie in the building.
Let's do this, people. Yeah.
That video today I love, bro. Keep doing it.
Love me some Louie.
Mr. New X guy, how you doing? What's up?
Sup, Professor.
One of our DC fanboys in the chat. Jason, smart it up. What's up?
Look at this DC fanboy.
Yeah, that video was tough to watch last night. I wanted to chime in saying that Endgame was the better movie, but I wasn't on the panel. They left Gary too out because he was a Marvel guy.
No, because it would have screwed up the amount of people because Rob is OCD and he needed 4 people to complete out and fill out the panels.
Really?
Yeah.
You have to have counterpoint though.
I say you can get another 2 in there.
Chris, aka Cardboard Crazies. What's up, Chris? What's going on?
What up?
Oh, another DC guy, Mr. Legion of Comics. Mark, how you doing? We are Legion.
The DC guy.
DC guy, Mr. Mark, crushing it, killing the game.
There he is.
Yeah, that's my cup of coffee too. He's on early in the morning when I first get on. I like that. Hey, Soul Twice, Mr. Artist, Sean, how are you doing?
What up?
And Mr. Digger Jim. How's it going, Digger? All right, so if you guys don't know the premise of the show, it's, I just want a little community forum where we all get together. We all have stories about, that book we lucked into or that book we lost for some stupid circumstance. So I brought these two fine gentlemen together to kind of discuss their stories, see what still resonates with them, what still pisses them off, what still makes them smile. So we'll get to our first up. And let's start with you, Mr. Remy Q. What's your first comic book success story?
Success story. I'm going to start with this one. So this is, well, here, X-Men Annual 14.
Woo!
I picked this up last year, and I kept the price tag on it. $1.25. This was my dollar bin success story. You hear about them all the time. Never expected it, never owned it. I thought it was awesome. I was out with actually Cardboard Crazies and checking out some dollar bins and pulled this thing out and couldn't believe it. Blew my mind. So this is going to be my first success story.
Now, do you count that as a first appearance or is that a cameo to you?
I do count this as a first appearance. I'm with Legion on that one.
CGC does not, sir.
Yes. I understand that the professionals, the powers that be, are in a different point of view, but still.
That's funny. And that had to do with the, I guess, the timing of the issue was released and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it was like 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
Now, do you own a copy of 266?
I do not. So that may be another reason why.
I count it as the first copy. Yeah, I'll tag off that, and I'll just say that around this time last year, I had 2 graded copies of 266, which I count as the first first appearance because I didn't have an annual. And I had shopped that around, and I had paid I think $300 for it when I bought them, and I couldn't get rid of them to make even money last year.
Oh wow.
Now to look at them, what is that, a $900 to $1,200 book now?
Yeah.
So
I had a 266 last year. I got out of a Michael Acri mystery box. That was the grand prize. It was raw. Sent it off to CGC, and then I wound up moving it, and I regret selling it once it came back from CGC.
I don't want to talk about moving stuff because that's a big pain point for me. We'll get into that eventually, I guess. All right, but thank you for that first down, Mr. Remy Q. Let's move over to DJ Linx. How about your first down?
I guess that was my first up. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't even know how to run my own show.
It's all good, dog.
Let's go with you.
Oh, I didn't bring any comic books, but I brought some stories. So I didn't bring any books. So I guess my first up story would be I bought 2 of my grails on the same day, and this was like maybe 2 years ago. So I bought Hulk 181 and ASM 300. So Hulk 181 at a 6.0 and ASM 300 at a 9.6. But the funny story about that was, and I had bought it. There was a small con, Nick, you might know, by the Results World, by the Aqueduct.
That's a casino now, right?
Yeah, so the casino. So they had like a science fiction con. So I go in, and we did a lap, and then we saw that. I went with a pocket full of bread because I knew I wanted the 181.
Right, because you just hit the re-up, and you had money in your pocket.
You know me. I just came from uptown, son. So, we go in. So I tell my wife, I was just like, "That's the book I want," whatever, blah blah. So then first I go up to the counter and I ask the guy. I was just like, "Oh, can I see the ASM 300, the 9.6?" So then he puts it down on the glass. So then I was just like, "Oh, can I see the Incredible Hulk 181 as well?" So then what happens is I have a weird sense of humor, and not a lot of people get my humor. So then the guy goes to grab, when I asked for the 181, the guy goes to grab the 300. And I was just like, "Yo, what are you doing? You think I can't buy them both?" But joking around, like I was legit joking around. He thought I was dead ass serious and I was trying to make it a racial thing or something like that. So then it got super uncomfortable. Anyway, long story short, he brings it down, puts it there, and then he walks away. So then the price on the 181 was 2,500, and then the price on the 300 at the time was 700. So I was just like, all right, let me use this shit to my advantage. You want 2,600, right? And he was like, yeah, 2,600, just take it. And I was like, boom, here you go, boom. And I was like, babe, let's go. And out of there.
That's an epic victory.
Wow.
Hell yeah. And they're right there. I didn't know we had to bring them out. So thank you, Remy Q, for making me look bad, sir.
I thought if I'm gonna, I mean, I don't know if you've seen some of my other props or not, but
so Rembro,
come on,
ladies and gentlemen in the chat. If you didn't know, we do have Pro Remy X on the panel tonight. All right, pretty good way to start. It's always good to have it's always good to start positively.
Yeah.
So let's get to the negatives now, fellas. What was your first story, Linx? Your first negative story?
My first negative story. It was the first time I sold my collection. So I had a bunch of big books. Early 90s stuff when I was like 10, 11, 12, whatever. And there's a bunch of big books that came out at that time. So I had a copy of Amazing Spider-Man 300 that my brother had given me. Amazing Spider-Man 361. Then you had the first appearance of Professor Hulk, all that stuff. So I had all that. Mm-hmm. And then about like 96, I started collecting Spawn figures. So I started collecting Spawn figures, and I was just like, you know what? These comic books are taking up space. Let me see if I could just sell them, because obviously at that time we didn't know the value or the impact like the first appearance of Venom or first appearance of Carnage would have had. Mm. So then I was just like, all right, let me go sell these books. So then I took them down to the comic book store on St. Mark's between second and third. Yo, and legit, the dude gave me like 50 cents for each book, and I was just like, yo, what are you doing? And then he's looking at them, and you know when they it's a good book, and they look at it and be like, nah, this is trash. All right, I'll give you 75 cents for this one. So I legit sold my entire collection for like $28. But I was 15 years old at the time, so I didn't know better. And then I took that and bought 2 Spawn figures, and I was happy. But in retrospect, that was like the biggest down ever. Like I felt like such a jerk. I want to go over there and have because it's still there, I think, the comic store, and have some strong words with those people.
What is that? Did you go like the GameStop of comics?
It was
yeah, taking advantage of a young man like that. Golly.
GameStop is the worst. It's like, yo, here's this brand new Xbox One. Okay, $14. It's like, what are you doing? But it was like some dude, and I can't remember how old he was. He was probably on the younger side, so he knew that he could probably take advantage of me. Yo, but it was so many good things. First appearance of Bishop was in there. Like I said, Carnage, Venom, Professor Hulk, and
whatever. I think back in those days it was more about the artists.
Yeah.
Like, oh, check out this McFarlane. Check out this Will Spertasio, or check out this Dale Clown Hulk. We didn't really know what it was back then.
Yeah.
For me, all that 90s stuff is trash, and I'm like,
yeah,
picking up Spawn #1 now for $30. So I really have to. But I guess that's just the way things go when you're collecting. So
yeah. So that's my down.
All right, thank you for that, sir. How about you, Mr. Remy Q? It's hard to believe that you were down.
Mine is not going to be as dramatic, but I did bring a similar prop.
That's the Captain Marvel?
So, my wife, bless her heart, spent $100 on a Goodwill auction and got $100 in trash. This was one of the books that she was most proud of. A Miss Marvel #1 that is shaped like an M. And so we plan to one day try to flatten it. It actually is in pretty good condition otherwise, but it's shaped like an M. And so
that's a Mephisto spec.
$100 later, and this was kind of the best thing that we had. I think we had a booster gold as well, which I said that would be the ticket to at least redeem some of the money, but
well, you know what? I think at this point you keep that around just for shock value, because you could have had that thing pressed a long time ago.
Yeah.
So it's worth to you as a prop than anything else.
Oh yeah.
You need the hydraulic press from Terminator 1. The one that the T-800 got crushed in.
Yeah. I offered to do it for him.
That's hilarious, dude.
All right, so now that we're through our first sets of ups and downs, let's say what's up to some more of the people who got in the chat. Hey, Bert 54. Hold on.
There you go. There you go.
What's up, Bert 54 Comics? How are you? All right, let's go back. Mr. One Shot Comics, how are you going? Oh, the comic burrito in the house.
You.
We got Chicago in the building. Mr. Chip Getler.
What's up, Chip?
Who else? Let's see who else is here. Hey, I would never forget this guy. First of one of the epic Lamo frames from this past weekend. Never enough Nick the comic nerd. What's going on?
Artist extraordinaire. Yo, his store was crazy.
And another guy who actually tore it up. He was fantastic. I think if he had a little bit more time, we had some $69 million NFMs on our hands. Mr. Actual Dracula.
He's the man. He hates me, but he's the man.
Yeah, he crushed you. He crushed you last week, and then there was one other time. What did he do?
He drew Dracula gnawing at my arm, but he was like, the watch is not going to get damaged. But he was like gnawing at my arm with blood, and it hurt me to my core. I was offended.
Well,
Actually, Dracula's the man.
That's a pretty good segue because we have that story where it hurts you to your core coming up after our next set of ups and downs.
Nice.
So let's go with another up. Mr. We started with Linx last time. Mr. Remy Q, let's start with an up from you, sir.
All right. I've got a couple here, but I'm gonna grab this. This isn't a huge up, but it's one of those where it's a win that you don't really expect. So I picked this up for $2. Actually, what is this? 97. So I want to say it was maybe 2000, a couple years later. Couple bucks. This was another dollar bin find. In fact, and I've kept it this way, but if you notice, it's like the back. I just double bagged it with another comic because I didn't think anything of it. I just really like the Hulk and I love the cover. And about a year ago, I was on Facebook and I saw an auction and the guy had it for $90. And I was like, I've got that thing in the back here and had no clue the significance of this until I dug it out and I looked at it, and sure enough, I mean, it's in great shape. But yeah, I paid a couple bucks for it. I mean, the cover price is $1.50, and I didn't pay a whole lot more than that at the time. So I grabbed that because that was one of those where I was excited that I picked that up at the time that I did, and still had it.
Yeah, I need to find these dollar bins you guys are diving into because there's some gold. I haven't seen anything in my store.
That one, I want to say it was just in like a Hulk section. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't even a dollar bin. I think I just was at the comic shop and was looking through Hulk and grabbed it. And I was like, oh, this is an awesome cover, and just snagged it. So
that's amazing.
So let me ask, with the charades WandaVision pulled on us last set of series, are you specking on Winter Soldier introducing the Thunderbolts and whatnot? Or you don't care much about that? You haven't seen them. Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh, I didn't know if you were asking me or DJ. No, I'm unsure. I don't know if he is or he isn't. I have been watching it. Yeah, I'm excited for it, but yeah, I'm not too sure.
All right, let's go on to you, Mr. Linx. What's an up for you?
I guess I'm like laughing because I'm seeing what I wrote down, my talking points, if you will. When I got back into comics the third time, because I had gotten into it and then I wound up selling the stuff and whatever. So the third time, it was after work. I would still I worked down the block from Midtown Comics, right? We all know Midtown Comics. We order from Midtown Comics. I literally worked down the block. So we had went out, me and my crew from work, we went out drinking. And I was clearly, I enjoy drinking. And I got super drunk.
I didn't notice.
Yeah, I got like super drunk. Yeah, I walked into Midtown Comics and I felt like such a low-life dirtbag because I felt like I was doing something wrong. So I'm drunk and I was just like, I got two comic books. So Crossed, I don't know if you're familiar with Crossed. I think it's Avatar Comics, super violent and gory and stuff like that. So I picked those two. So then I go and to pay for it, And then the guy's just like, crossed, really? And I was just like, I haven't read comics in so long. I don't know what I'm doing. Help me. And he was like, no, these are good ones. Like, you drunk bastard. Like, these are good. So yeah, it was such a good, because that's what got me back into the comics then, right? So now this is my fourth go round, but it was so cool. Just I don't know, I felt like I relapsed and I did something wrong, but at the end of the day, I wound up getting some comics, and then I bought a bunch of graphic novels, and yeah, that was my gateway back into collecting at that time. Getting drunk, relapsing, and buying some books.
Yeah, like for me, it's I've been back and forth. I've been collecting again probably about the past 4 or 5 months. And before that was 2012. So it's kind of funny what brings you back, whether it's a cover or a statue or just being inebriated before you go to the drunk tank in Midtown Manhattan. It's funny what brings you back to comics. But all right, with that being said, Mr. Remy Q, what do you have for a down?
You know what? I actually don't have a prop for this one, but
I'll give you props. Mad props, sir.
I appreciate that. So I had purchased a book. It was a slab, and it was for a giveaway that we were going to have. And it was a 9.9. Really excited about it. Got it at a decent price, but I still paid a pretty penny for it. And it was the only 9.9 that I had purchased at all. And it arrived. Everything was good. I'm taking a look at it. It seems fine. And then the back of it had a crack across the slab, like 6 inches or so, right across the back of the book. So I actually have sent it off to get reholdered, but it was something where it was crushing enough where I had to debate on, do I keep this? Do I dispute it? It was an online sale. There was no description of a cracked slab, but there was a picture. So, it was like, how far do I take this? And the fact it was a 9.9, I was like, all right, I'll keep it and just try to get it reholdered and hope for the best. So,
yeah, and I don't know if you noticed that USPS tries to kill your comics. They try to kind of smush your packages. And I don't know if you guys have seen today. I noticed a 9.9 trio, ASM 298, 299, and 300.
Yeah.
Are all graded 9.9. Could be yours for the low price of $375,000. Buy now.
Claim.
That would definitely. I don't know if that's a win or a loss, because once that trailer drops, the price will probably go up.
What, you think I can afford all three?
Well,
I'll give you 200. 200 for all of them.
Take it.
You kind of have to buy them all, don't you?
Yeah, that's hilarious, dude.
All right, Mr. Linx, do you have another down for us?
I have a down. Yeah, and this story like hurts me to my heart still. So 6th grade, I had my Marvel Series 1 card set. Now, Marvel Series 1, the cards, it's like that's what kind of got me into collecting. Even before I had some comic books, but I didn't really know what comic books were. And then I would get this Series 1 Marvel Universe cards whenever they sent me to the store to get something or whatever. And I had the entire set, probably 2 sets, because I had doubles, because I literally would buy a pack every time I went to the store. And then all my holograms. So then I took it to school, and I was showing off, and I was like, yeah, whatever, blah, blah. So then this kid, I forgot his last name, but his first name is Franklin.
Franklin?
Franklin. Yes, you, Franklin, if you're watching right now, sir.
Franklin Richards, was it?
No, it wasn't. But mind you, and this is what, 90, 91? So this dude is just like, yo, these holograms are worth a lot of money. Let me get them and bring them to the comic book store to see if I could sell them. So I'm just like naive. I'm like, oh, yeah, cool. So he's like, oh, this one is worth $10, blah, blah, 5 cards. You could get $50. Okay, cool. And then I'll buy more packs of cards. And I never saw the money or my cards after that day.
What's his last name?
I told you, it's funny because I was trying to remember it, and I was just like, I couldn't. But I know his first name was Franklin. And
hey, that first of all, Remy, that's a butter knife where he's from. So you need that chainsaw. And what grade was this, Link?
This was 1990. I was in pre-K.
Yeah, but I mean, you didn't grow up in Brooklyn to know that plan already.
I was a young kid. Yeah, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. So it was 6th grade. I was in the gifted class. I didn't know what I was doing in the gifted class. I was just trying to make friends, man. And you know, one of these gifted kids took advantage of me.
Well, you definitely gifted my man Franklin.
Yeah.
So I actually next week I'll have Franklin on the show, and he'll count that as a win.
Wow. Imagine you're Franklin and you're in the witness protection program. Going as Nick. And he's like, hey, look at the holograms. Ah.
All right, well, we'll get our second set of ups and downs. Let's say what's up to more people in the chat. We'll say hello to Mr. Taylor Winder. What's going on, Taylor? We'll also have Mr. Adrian Pandawesome, who sent me this. Woo! You made a fantastic day of even more fantastic. Thank you, bro. And you can give me that T-shirt that you had in that video too. That was pretty badass too. I think that was it. For who else joined us? All right, that was it. All right, so we'll get on to our third set of ups and downs, and we'll reserve this one for our soul-crushing tales of victory and defeat. And we'll start with our epic victory with you, Mr. DJ Linx.
Epic victory. So this is not really an epic tale of victory for me per se. It's just something that I witnessed, and I thought it was one of the most incredible things that I've witnessed in a comic book shop in whatever, since I've been collecting as an adult. So the Captain Marvel movie came out, and in my group chat with my boys and stuff, we're going back and forth. I have one friend that's like, he's anti Hollywood stuffing down the female agenda in our throats, and you know, there's agendas for the female agenda, the LGBTQ, all this other stuff, blah blah. It's just being force fed to us. So then I don't believe that. I think everybody needs representation in movies in Hollywood. I think that's super important. It's important for an audience to connect with characters on the screen that look like them, that identify like them. I think that's super important. So all day we're having this stupid conversation, whatever. And then I'm just like, all right, whatever, bye. And I go to Forbidden Planet in the city in Union Square. You should know that, Nick. So I go to Forbidden Planet, and legit, I'm in there. I'm looking around. I'm looking at the Hot Toys. I wasn't buying comics at the time, so I'm looking at the Hot Toys case and all that other stuff. And legit, a dad comes in with his daughter, and the daughter had to be like 4 years old. And they're there. The dad is looking at the statues, and the daughter just goes, Captain Marvel! Super excited about Captain Marvel. And that just warmed my heart. And I was like legit, like right now, I'm just like, oh my God, that was such a beautiful thing. And I felt validated. I didn't tell this dude like, yo, this happened. But right there, that just validated how important that representation is. And for little girls to have strong female superheroes that they can look up to on the screen. So that's my story, man. And it's a beautiful story.
Yeah, and I think that's key now. I think the way Marvel's going and including everybody is going to be a big key to make them even bigger. Mm-hmm. And I have a friend just like that. He feels like that one scene in Endgame, all the females are, what is this? I can't. He is by far the crankiest old man. Not even progressive in a little bit. He's like, I hate variant covers. They kill the game. And it's just like, it is what it is, dude. Just keep going. But we'll go ahead with you, Mr. Remy Q. What about you? You have a down for us?
Are we doing downs or ups?
What?
Ups.
We're doing
so
all the way up.
No, I'm kidding.
I'm drinking water.
That's actually my down, sir.
No, so you know what? I actually have, I guess, a series of ups. If we're getting super cheesy with it, and just for a moment, you know, sometimes you win prizes, not necessarily an AOK, but you win prizes from fantastic folks. Sometimes you get drink sponsors, you know, that send you things, and you know, it's nice to get certain items from folks. I like sending stuff off to folks as well, but there's sometimes stuff that comes through where somebody takes the time to really think about what they're sending. I think the AOKs in the community, just in general. Again, I've sent stuff out before. I've received stuff, and anytime I get something, you can tell somebody put some thought into it. And similarly, you know, it's again to watch somebody open something that you send them, I think is exciting too. So I just in general, the AOK thing, I didn't even know what that was. I remember sending comics to somebody on YouTube and didn't know it was called an AOK. And then once I found out what that was actually, what it was about, and realizing kind of the community and how everybody's almost like looking out for everybody else and just certain things, you see things for somebody. I think that's the coolest part about what we do. So yeah, again, just there that it kind of leads into a lot of different stories, but I mean, just in general, I think that the community and everything that everybody does is awesome. So
yeah, and I completely agree. I mean, our chat tonight is indicative of just a great bunch of human beings who happen to like comic books as well. So, those guys set a pretty good example for everybody here collecting, and new people coming in. I think it's just a fantastic group of guys that we have. Mm-hmm. All right. Sorry to kind of put a downer on that moment. So we'll go with our epic fails. So we'll wait for Mr. Remy to drink out of that beautiful glass, and we'll ask him what's his epic fail of a lifetime.
So I don't know if this is my most epic fail, but it is a fail. I will usually grab a stack of Marvel superheroes, Hulk, and some Mariner books. I like to just kind of casually stroll through them because I keep them here. It is a set of books that I really like that I can toss around. I will tell you, I bought these with the idea that I was getting something more than I actually did. So if anybody knows, well, I guess everybody knows but me at the time, but Marvel superheroes featuring the Hulk and Submariner, these are all reprints. Like they're 20 cent, they're old reprints, but needless to say, they're reprints. And so when I got these, I was like, oh, I mean, I thought I was getting a collection of something really amazing when they're like a couple bucks a piece, what I mean? Like in reality, it's not something crazy. And so it's until I got into books and I realized, like, for instance, Tales to Astonish, the original versus the cover, they redid the cover, kind of jazzed it up a little bit, but the internals are the same. It's just a reprint. Mm. And so, needless to say, at one point, somebody got me in the sense that I purchased a bunch of these Marvel superheroes featuring the Hulk and Submariner, thinking I had struck gold with all these old Hulk books and all the value that I got from these, which, again, in the end, really cool stories, and it's nice to have them. And they are older books, but yeah, value-wise, you're talking a couple bucks a piece, and I got hosed on the deal big time. So,
well, for me, this time around, I've had to throw out pretty much all of my comic book knowledge. Like for me, growing up, you never wanted a newsstand variant, you never wanted a second print. All of that stuff was trash. You never wanted a book from Walmart. And now collecting, every time I'm in Walmart, I'm looking for what books are out. Second, third, fourth, fifth. If it's a 23rd print, give me that cover. Newsstands, I'll take it. And you never know what you got. I was recently trying to buy like a Marvel Tales run. And some of those numbers, $9,000 books in a 9.8. So you really can never tell. Worst comes to worst, you just get a good book to read, Yeah.
All right. And yeah, like I said, those I definitely enjoy having them. It just, for what I got them for, is interesting.
Well, it could have been worse. They could have, just took your Marvel cards and sold them, and you got nothing from it.
Or just stole them from you.
All right. So since Mr. Linx is down already, we'll go with him for a down.
I am down. I guess my down is in the same vein as Remy's, where we got hosed for something. So I bought. It had to be last April or May. So it was one of my first videos on YouTube. I bought on eBay a lot of X-Men number 4s. So there were 4 copies of X-Men number 4. In the description, it was just like 9.8 candidates all day, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And so I bought it. And the mistake that I made, I got the delivery and I didn't even take them out to look at them. I just transferred them to another box and I mailed it to CGC. I didn't know about pressing or anything like that. Yo, legit, like I didn't know what pressing was. So I just took it from one box, put it in the next box, sent it off to CGC, and then I got it back. So it was 4 copies. One of them came back like a 9.2, 2 9.2s, a 9.4, and a 9.6. And this was last year, so the value on a 9.2 was like $40. And then the same thing with like a 9.4, maybe a little bit more, and then a 9.6 was $80 at the time. So I totally struck out. I felt like a loser. And then to add insult to injury, that book is super hot right now. So like a 9.6 goes for like $200 or whatever. And that's basically what it was. So it was my inexperience with try. I mean, I learned, so now I know what pressing is. I press on my books, but it was just the inexperience. And I guess too, the dude on eBay gaming me out there, right? So that's another lesson to be learned, where people aren't always honest on something like eBay, where you would think this is where all the angels sell their stuff.
Yeah, I mean, on the electronic bay, as Whack Comics would say,
yeah,
on the up and up, they'll definitely send you 9.8s all day. There's no creases, it's just everything.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, wow, this guy said a 9.8 candidate all day. It must be true.
Oh, so you would actually pay extra for that? Yeah.
Liar 98722, whatever his name was.
It wasn't Franklin, was it?
It's Franklin. Franklin got you again, sucker.
Franklin. I know, as he's like holograms. Yeah, so that was it. It was just my inexperience, getting hosed on that, and like not knowing what pressing was at the time. So then it turned out to be a good video. Like a lot of the negative videos get a lot of views, which is not always a good thing, but people like to see a train wreck, you know what I mean? So I guess that was the silver lining to it. That video got a lot of views.
Yeah, well, that was last year for you. That was like last week for me. So I'm still learning.
Wow.
All right, well, comic community, you see that we all have our stories. It's inexperience, money shelled out. We all come together. We learn from experience, hopefully. So as long as we don't have arch enemy Franklins out there, we should just keep learning and keep doing better. You guys, we'll start with you, Mr. Remy Q. You guys have anything going on? Anything you want to plug?
I have a Wednesday show that I do with Mr. Chris from Cardboard Crazies. This week it's going to be on his channel, and still need to do DJ Linx.
Oh,
Mystery Box.
Oh, okay.
Sorry for the delay there. Mystery Box. Angel and I were going to do DJ Linx, Mystery Box, and we just need to find some time when she's available. We can do that. I think we're going to live stream it. So I've got that to get to, and I do have a separate a video that I should be releasing. It's going to be on my failure to send certain books to CGC.
Like that Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel was one of them, yes. Yeah, a couple other books that I've invested in and just have always been too afraid to take the jump and take the leap into sending them in. So
I disagree, Chip.
Anti-Franklin movement.
Yeah. Franklin needs a knuckle sandwich.
Put him on, Franklin. Put him on.
Hey, how about you, Linx? What do you got going on?
Tomorrow, I'm actually going to be on Average Will's channel. So I'm going to be on his channel at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're just going to kick it for like a half an hour. Average Will is a great dude. If you're not subbed up to him, sub him up. He's a great cat. You're not going to be disappointed. Monday, Tuesday, those are my comic book mystery box days. Thursdays, that's my new comic book day. And then next week, I guess the big thing is I'm launching my show, if you will. So next Friday, April 2nd, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In the mix with DJ Linx. We're just gonna chop it up. I have my I was gonna say my good friend. No, he's the guy I begged to be on the show. Gemmin. He's gonna be joining me. He's gonna be my first guest. Super cool dude, man. Super receptive to being asked to come on the show, and he was with it and stuff like that. So I'm super appreciative of that. And yeah, that's going to be next Friday. I'm super excited for that, man. It's going to be different. So there's going to be some comic book talk, but we're going to just try to delve deeper into other things, try to expand on what we do instead of just focusing all on like the comic book aspect, the YouTube aspect, things like that. Just get to know each other as people.
Yeah, and that guy has got quite a collection between statues, omnibuses, comics. He's got it all going on, that guy.
Yeah.
And he's in Texas too, isn't he?
Yeah, El Paso.
Oh, no, El Paso is like 35 hours from me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty far. All All right. Well, I do see Gary B in the chat. Now I want to just touch again on that this Grow Together movement. He's started. Fantastic, helping small little channels out like mine. And I kind of want to give a shout out to a smaller channel also who does great work. Low budget comics and things. This dude puts out great content. He brings forward a lot of tie-ins and just a lot of books that I completely forgot about. Short videos and straight and to the point. Mm-hmm. So you can get a lot of information in a short time. So when the chat is over, I'll link his description down. But low budget comics and things puts out great work.
How's that?
How about you, Remy? You have anybody you want to shout out, maybe?
I actually shouted him out Wednesday, but I'd like to shout him out again. Actual Dracula. Again, a handful of videos, but very entertaining and gives DJ Linx a run for his money. I love that. So check him out. Yeah, and congrats on 100, by the way, Nick.
Yeah, man.
Congratulations.
Yeah, no, that's due to support like you guys. You guys are just helped me push through, and not even the tips and advice you've been giving me, but pushing me out. And while we're talking about that, since you brought it up, Remy, let's have you pick Let's have you pick out a number from 1 through 20, please.
Okay.
Mr. Remy Q, I'm sorry. Pick a number with 1 through 20.
Just
1
say
through
it.
21.
All right. Yeah. 18.
18. All right. So this is the surprise 100 subscriber giveaway. And then since I'm not technically savvy to show up on the screen a random number generator, I had these guys who didn't know the giveaway was going on. I wrote down every number in the chat, and you said number 18?
18.
Mr. Taylor Winder, you will be getting a set of books you'll probably hate. Nowhere. Wonder Woman. Can you guys see? Okay, Punisher.
Yeah, wow.
No, it gets better. Aquaman. Hulk. World Hulk, saw by Dan Slott. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
Claim.
She-Hulk, signed by Dan Slott.
Oh, super claim.
This is Action Comics, signed by Dave Johnson.
Oh, wow.
Uncanny X-Men, signed by Tim Townsend. And we'll go a little bit German. Not signed by anybody knows, but it's a cool pickup nonetheless.
The Vir Vandenberg.
And
hashtag rigged.
Yeah.
One of my personal favorites. Dazzler #1.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
A little shout out. Thank you guys so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. I couldn't have done it without support from you guys. Thanks again.
That's awesome,
yeah, that's awesome.
Thanks a lot for having you guys coming on the show. Thank you for being you. Thank you for making up. That huge epic blog I've had. I'm glad you made up on my channel. That's ratings goals.
Nice.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Hey, Taylor, just send me your address and IG, and I'll get these out to you tomorrow.
That's awesome, man.
The Dr. Phil of the comic community.
Catch me outside. How about that?
You guys have anything else you want to add before we go?
Oh, I wanted to give a shout out real quick. You skipped me on the shout out tip, son.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Yo, snap. I want to give a big shout out to Comic-Con. So Con Jelly. Yeah, over at the name of his channel is Comic-Con, COMIKON. Con Jelly is one of the nicest guys. He has an awesome channel, has a very soothing voice. Hey, that's a DJ Linx pin. But yeah, man, Con Jelly over at Comic-Con. He's at 147 subs right now, but he is an awesome dude.
Hey, and he's got a video that will let you know how to find buy offer prices.
Yeah, in the code. Yeah,
that was like Taylor Winder's how to grind Spider-Man booth video. That was life changing.
Yeah. I refer to that video a lot because I keep forgetting how to do it.
Hey, again, so thank you guys. Thank you, chat. Thank you, everybody, for showing support. Like I said, we all have tales of epic victory and defeat. You know, that's what 3 Up, 3 Down is for. Let me know if you want to be on the show. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a good one.
Peace.